Hello, I'm a volunteer from the Democracy Club project. We're collecting CVs of everyone who's standing for Parliament. I've been handing some of them out earlier. And I've got a specific question for each candidate about their CV. If you want to look at their CVs, you can search for Democracy Club CVs on the internet to see. So, quickly question, yeah. So, David, I want to know, you're a translator and you're fluent in lots of European languages. How do you reconcile that with wanting to leave the EU?
Okay, I've always been talented at modern languages. The first time I went to university, I chose law, but I was very good at French and German at the time. So I suppose it rankled with me. Many years later, I was doing Italian and Spanish GCSE, and I got made redundant from my job because our company, it was a British company, it was taken over by a Swiss company. So I had about 9 months. I decided to do a couple of A-levels back to back, Italian and Spanish, got an A and a B, and I ended up in Cambridge. Did 11 years, modern languages after that, mainly German, Spanish, Italian, French. But I was in a college with 50 different nations represented, the only Roman Catholic college in Cambridge, St Edmunds, welcoming all nations. Now you say, how can you reconcile the fact that you speak many languages with withdrawing from the EU? Well, it's quite simple, really. Although I speak many languages, I don't particularly want Angela Merkel running with François Hollande our foreign policy. I don't want to particularly have a European army. I don't want to particularly have a country like ourselves that are paying £20 billion for our EU membership every year, 55 million pounds every single day, and the rest of the candidates here wonder where the money's going. That is how I can reconcile with withdrawing from the EU. And we can negotiate bespoke trade agreements with the EU and still have jobs just the same. We'll be in a better position and we'll be able to restore parliamentary sovereignty to the UK.
Seema, I want to ask you, you're a property lawyer. I want to know what property law you think is unfair and should be changed, and how should it be changed.
I trained as a property lawyer. I've actually not practiced for a few years, so I've been working in a property business. But what I think is most unfair, which is a law which applies to property, it's business rates. Because you set up your business, and even before you've turned a profit, you're having to pay local business rates. And you want to expand, maybe buy the shop next door or even a cupboard, and it gets bigger. Now, we have done something on this, and we've given holidays, and we are doing a whole review. I really, really hope that we keep up pressure on central government, and I would be doing that as a backbencher, standing up for small businesses, saying this is a tax which is more of a barrier to even starting or expanding your business rather than just before you've even turned a profit.
Veronica, you haven't submitted your CV yet. Would you be willing to? Anything you can say about your background that's relevant?
I'll submit my CV and you can ask me questions then, okay?
And Sue, I'd like to know, as an entrepreneur who did software, how you would avoid disasters like the one with the Royal Payment System that didn't get delivered properly recently. And anything else about your background that makes you a good person to do a £67,000 job for the voters.
Yes, hello. Francis, the point that you made, I think, was with regard to software development. I should say I started an IT company when I was 27. That was a number of years ago. I won't tell you how many, but enough to have experience as a business person. And one of the issues that I've found as a business person, as a small business person, is the accountants are very keen, over the 23, 24 years I've had the business, to offer me tax avoidance schemes. They're not illegal, but they're ways in which the businesses can move money overseas. And I have a problem with that, because I, as a small business person, chose not to take that route. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair for anybody to do that, whether it's legal or not. But one of the problems that I see are that large accountancy firms are paying our political parties to influence tax policy. And the system that is currently in place is not fair for our small businesses or our small shops or manufacturers. And that's something that I feel actually very, very passionate about. In terms of development, the government has spent huge amounts of money on wasted systems. The people that they have brought in, I don't think have any idea how to project manage. And I think they have been bedazzled by these promises of software systems without an understanding of what the system is supposed to deliver. So I think that has to be fully investigated.
So Francis, why is it important that MPs upload their CVs?
Well, it's a £67,000 job, and I think the skills and background of the candidates really matter. Also, I think voters, it's useful for voters to think about it, that it's a job interview, that we could get anyone, so we could vote for any of the candidates, and treating it like that's a better way of doing it than just going, oh, it's some politicians in Westminster. It's a really important job that they're going to do for us, and we're choosing it. So,
you've come to Hustings tonight. What did you think about the candidates and their suitability for the job?
There was a fantastic range of questions. I thought all the candidates were really good. I didn't have Veronica's CV, but we're going to have it now, which is fantastic. They all gave interesting answers about their background. I thought it told a lot about more detail about them and their personality. And at the end of the day, you can't monitor everything that your MP does in Parliament, and what they're meant to represent you. So what they're like, what they've done in the past, whether they've done things that are similar to to things that you've done, or whether they're different, or whether they've got more skills, or whether they've experienced like difficult times or good times. That really will affect what they do every day, and that's a powerful influence as well, because you can't just do it all based on promises and based on policies.
Elections matter about votes. Do you think having the CVs of MPs will actually change the way people vote?
If enough people look at them, yeah. And hopefully it will increase the quality of candidates, because if they know they're being looked at, then the way candidates are selected and involved in process. And it's just part of the process. The CV is a start, and we should at least look at the CVs to get the basic background and know what the candidates are like. But ideally then, come to Hustings, do job interviews like this, look at the policies of the parties, a whole set of things. And the more voters that look at more information, the better decisions we'll make and the better the government.